Hello, thanks for looking. Well, welcome. Jumping straight in, guys. It's just a night in the shack. Yeah, the QRP operation, yeah. You talk around the world with it. And this is the whole point, that you can chat around the world or you can chat just up the streets kind of thing like we're doing. Just having a chinwag on the repeater and people will be listening. They might not want to talk. Some of them, I think, they feel that they don't know what to say or they're happy listening because if they come in they feel the conversation might die and then there'll be nobody on the repeater, there's nothing for them to listen to. Some of them leave the repeater listening. I used to do it regularly even when I was on night shift, leave the repeater listening for the idents through the night, and if anybody called or whatever, I try to answer them. I don't like to leave anybody hanging if I can help it. So obviously at the end of the day it's just a bit of fun, and obviously it's a technical hobby, but it don't mean that you've got to be, up your own backside because you've got a little bit of a license. You're still a radio operator, and those that haven't got a license, they're still operating a radio. It's not much different really, and I think the more people, as future moves on, realise that hobby radio can be an excellent bit of fun, a great hobby, but also useful in many other ways that perhaps people just haven't realised yet in their own way. Now, does that conversation sound any different to CB radio?
Obviously not going to happen, but that's the point, isn't it? It's instant and it's social, and they're two separate things. And the point is that the social works just as well on your Zello, or it works well on the repeater, or it works well on the CB, or wherever else. But it's a very different form of communication to some of the other stuff that you do on these bands,
Very much so, very much so. I mean, at the end of the day, most of us enjoy chatting with friends. We just happen to do it via this medium, We don't have to get on the phone. I can put a call out, and if any of my friends are about, they'll answer. Sometimes they won't, they'll have a listen. They might say, oh, I heard you, I was doing so and so, I couldn't answer you at the time. And then basically you might not hear them until later on, but they told you they were listening and monitoring what was going on, kept up to date. As they used to say in those CB days, I've been reading mail, sat listening, earwigging as we call it, And at the end of the day, that is as much part of this hobby, whether we like it or not, as it sitting here in transmit mode and talking to somebody. People have scanners. People have got radios. I've got one scanner in the shack now because my radios will cover the other things that I want to listen to. So at the end of the day, it does me that way. I don't need too many scanners. I can do that with them, but I can also have a chat on that radio should I choose to do so.
Absolutely, yeah. It does seem to make more sense to scan on a transceiver if you've got the license to actually press the button on it, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
This is the FM calling frequency on 4 meters. So here we have the icon 7100, and we're on the frequency that they use as calling frequency on 4 meters there. So we'll see what we can do, and I'll just get the correct microphone. It always helps. Forever grabbing the wrong microphone. You'll find that if you get into the hobby, guys, you'll have more than enough microphones to grab. Excuse the dodgy camera work at the moment. I'm working on a handheld phone, and we'll see what we can do there. I think that was Fred just keying up. Get the volume up. And away we go. Okay, Fred, have you got me? Make a mistake, carry on, nothing's damaged, that's what happens. Yeah, okay then, Fred, we've got the camera running now anyway, so M0 Golf Echo Tango to G3XXN. I was going to ask you at some point, Fred, if you'd come and sit with me one of the days and go through the history of DS on video for me so I can do a video on it and stick it on our channel. I've got the original front that you gave me already, and it'd be nice to get the story from perhaps yourself and Terry at some point, perhaps over a coffee. Yeah, well, fair comment, Fred. Well, hopefully they get a little bit more mobile and John gets a little bit more free time there. But hopefully that works out for him as well. But have you had a busy day today or what have you, or have you just had a steady day?
Steady day, done a bit of shopping. Got some fuel. A week ago, I went to the Hospital, yes, well, a week, last Tuesday, tomorrow.
Ah, right, I'm with you. Yeah, it's a fair bit of a journey back and forward, isn't it, if you're having to take people and what have you. Do you mind if we demonstrate D-Star on this frequency, Fred? Are you okay to switch it over and just give it a couple of blasts on D-Star, and then I'll come back to FM while I'm filming?
Just while you're mode.
M0 Golf Echo Tango, M0 Golf Echo Tango to G3XXN, demonstrating here I am, I've got that many digital modes in this shack, Fred, demonstrating D-Star. I've just said it. It's a good job we can laugh at ourselves. I'll tell you what, while ever we can laugh at ourselves, we'll never be short of something to laugh at.
You can laugh at yourself. Yeah, this zero Golf Echo Tango G3XXN. So, got to use one up really.
Well, yeah, what I was thinking of doing is do this little demonstration and then maybe do one on Fusion. I could just clip them all together and it'll give me some practice working with this software.
Yeah, I can only use D-Star on this particular rig, of course. But, that's fine.
Yeah, well, on other days I can do Fusion with you and we'll cut it back in then, Fred. Right, I'm getting the bleep on the end of your audio with it being on D-Star there. So we'll go back to FM then, Fred. Thank you very much.
Roger, 2 is 1 here, mode.
And back over to FM M0 Golf Echo Tango Friday. And for anybody else that may be listening, apologies for any noise on the frequency. We're just operating in digital mode. Over to you, Fred.
Yeah, okay, Paul. Yeah, it's loud and clear anyway on D-Star. So, no problem. And to try ancient modulation as well.
Well, we could give it a try, Fred. I don't know what I'll get you like. I found it very noisy last night, but we'll go for AM then and see what appertains.
Yeah, might have just the squelch control, but QSY AM.
Okay, we've lifted up the squelch control there, Fred. Very, very noisy on this one, but obviously I've got the microphone and the volume up a little bit to hear your voice there. But if you'd like to go ahead, Fred, we'll give it a go.
Tango G3XXN altitude modulation.
Yeah, it's very loud with the speaker there coming through, so I'm not going to hold it for too long on that one, if we don't mind, but certainly working. If you just give us another over on it, Fred, and I'm going to go a little closer to the speaker with the camera so I can show people that the speaker is not next to the radio, it's just across the room a little bit. So if you just go again, please, Fred.
Zero Golf Echo Tango G3XXN. That's fine initially. You have probably a higher volume than on this particular rig. So that's no problem. But it's good to experiment if you've got the equipment using different modes. You can try sideband if you want.
Yeah, definitely up for sideband, Fred. If you'd like to go SSB upper side on this side, Fred, upper side. G3XXN M0 Golf Echo Tango. Go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, okay, Paul. M0 Golf Echo Tango G3XXN. And am I making it okay?
It's absolutely cracking audio on the sideband on that radio, Fred. It's one of my favourite modes, as you know. And on that radio, it does sound so nice. It really does. Nice, deep, good modulation. Very, very good.
Yeah, that's good. And we're in the FM section, so we're better to slide back to FM.
Okay, no problem. I'll go back to FM. That's it. For all you CBs that may be watching this at one time, yes, we're back on the old Funky Monkey instead of the old Auntie Mary. Go ahead, Fred.
Okay, Paul. That's fine. It's been quite a warm day, hasn't it? It's unusual weather. I think it's set to change by Wednesday.
Yeah, apparently so, Fred. It's not looking great for the rest of the week, is it? By the way, I'm mentioning the CB radio because I'm aiming the videos I'm doing at the CB radio and the amateur radio market, trying to get people to see it and understand it, that we're pretty much doing the same thing, may do it a little bit slightly differently, working different frequencies with different equipment, but generally trying to involve people. And for anybody listening to my comments about the CBers there, I am still a CB radio operator. I started out as a CB radio operator, and I've been in the hobby radio world since probably about 1978 as a youngster. And I'm going up 57 years old, and I still enjoy CB radio, and I still enjoy amateur radio. And have I even managed to drag you down there, Fred? Have you even managed to drag you down to the dark side once or twice, Fred? Isn't that terrible of me?
It's changed. I mean, CB is not what it used to be. In a way, sort of thing, but things always change. CB is citizen band radio. Always has been, but people made more of it because of their interest. G3XXN.
Yeah, they certainly do, Fred. I mean, look where it's taken some of us. We've ended up with a room full of radio equipment and not much in his wallets, but at the end of the day, Fred, the great times I've had on radio and with my friends in the radio world, you know, I can't say I've had a bad time really. And besides that, you can't take anything with you. There's no pockets in shrouds. Might as well enjoy it while we're here.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. I think if we were responsible, we'd never buy any new equipment.
Well, exactly. I mean, how many radios do we need? For instance, you know, if I look around my shack, there's quite a few bits of equipment there, but enjoying using them, Fred, and the sort of pleasure that I've had from them over the years kind of makes it worth it. And I hope at some point, as I get older, some of this kit will be passed on to other people that are interested, and like myself, by the time they get it, it'll be an antique.
Hopefully, yeah. With the time duration. Yes, it's amazing. I'm happy, really. You know, most people put it down when they talk to a chap. He says, well, you can pick a phone up and talk to somebody. But it's definitely not the same.
Not as much fun. I get to faff about with antennas and coax and have little faults crop up now and again. And it's my fault or the radio's equipment. It's not the fault of the TV repair people or the telephone people or whoever. It's me to maintain that equipment, to make sure I look after it, and also to get it serviced if it needs it, you know. Whereas your telephone goes wrong, BT or whoever we say, well, we can't do anything about it right now. Whereas radio, we can. So that's my view on it anyway. It's only a tongue-in-cheek view. And at the end of the day, yes, I need a phone, and for emergency services and things like that, fantastic. But radio, it's got a place. It really does have a place in modern society. And sadly, for many people, if they're alone or they've got no family left, it's a little community that they can find out there on the airwaves. As you once said to me, Fred, many years ago, our community is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the same with the repeater. People can pop on, and yes, sadly there may not be always somebody on the higher bands, but certainly something to listen to on HF or other bands or around or what have you. And with the modern recording equipment on radios now, they could record something in the day and listen to it in the evening time. Excellent radio for that is the 7100 for anybody that's watching. If you've not tried one, do give them a go. They're aging a little bit now, but they are a damn fine radio in my opinion.
People on the phone saying, oh, propagation's come today, or which cell tower are working through the system. You can't do that on phones. But it's of great interest. Propagation is always interesting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've got a bit of coax to pop up to an antenna sometime this week. I'm going to try and get it done before the bad weather comes in there, Fred. But hopefully we'll get that done, and it'll be all up and running before the bad weather sets in with us. And hopefully I better test it the same day I pop it up, which is good. Just a case of popping up the ladder now and getting that done. and then everything should be fine.
Kevin normally told me how to stay. All those brackets down on the to keep your ladder in place.
I can, that's going back a bit now, Fred. There's some water gone under the bridge since them days, hasn't there?
Okay, good day to everybody in the group. This is Fred G3XXN, and wish you all the best.
Just pop this on my chair in the shack while I'm messing around with these videos, what have you, and wanted to pop this on the end of this video. That's the front panel of the original GP3DS. They drilled through by hand many years ago, obviously running and closed down, and the reset, and obviously the speaker there, and front handles on it at the front there. Fred was having a clear out, and I asked him if I could have this as a sort of kickback and a memory of the early days of radio around here before I came here, that I got involved in when I came here. So yep, that's going to go back on my wall very, very shortly. There's my seat in the shack when I'm in here. Obviously I don't have that behind me, it'd be a bit uncomfortable. Again, thanks to everybody for watching. Never forget where you came from if you started out in the back in the old days, when many of us did. And whatever kind of radio you do, just enjoy it and have a good time. 7-3, and thank you again for watching. Bye bye.